exit this. Oh my.
We're Hassani and Danielle Pettiford, and we're a real couple with real problems who almost called it quits.
I was very frustrated. I became very disconnected, very jaded and cold.
We have 4 children, going on 20 years of marriage, and we practice what we preach.
Our mission, to change the way couples relate to one another and teach them the skills needed to improve the quality of their relationships. This is the Couples Academy Show.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome. It is Friday. We're excited about it. Thank God it's Friday. And you're watching the Couples Academy Show. My name is Hassani.
And I'm Danielle.
And we're here every single morning at 9:30 to have a conversation with you. Hey, Twitter world. We're glad that you're here. Hey, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. We're all in the building today. And we're excited about it. We've been in a series talking about Enneagram personality types and styles. Going deep.
Going real deep. Peeling back the layers. What?
We've all been learning. I've been learning.
I mean, I think every time we talk about Enneagram, people are just like, please help me understand and decode myself. And that's really the blessing of the Enneagram, is that you do. You get to decode yourself and then decode your partner. And then actually you can decode your entire family. I was just decoding my daughter this morning who needs decoding. So we could apply this to every area of her life. I don't know, maybe we could decode the dog at some point. Who knows?
That's possible.
But guys, want to make sure that you remember to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. We appreciate that, and that you're sharing it every day and sending this message to the 4 corners of the earth.
Are we not on screen? What's going on?
I think we just went out, but that's okay. They might still be able to hear us. Give us a thumbs up. Let us know, guys, if you can still hear us. There we go. There we go.
All right. Listen, a couple quick announcements before we get started. Tomorrow is that day, Overcoming Emotional Triggers. I'm excited because people...
Yes!
Listen, we appreciate the ones who sign in real late, like right before. Like some are going to sign in tomorrow, right before. And we gladly welcome you because we want to get everybody in there. We want to pack it tight like sardines in a can and like cockroaches in a Coke bottle. We have space for you. There's a seat. And it's $197 for 4 hours of comprehensive information that is really going to transform your life. I'm excited because we're going to be walking you through techniques. We're going to be walking you through like particular things that you can do in the moment to manage the trigger, to overcome the trigger, to have a life without the trigger. Are you excited about that? Because I know that we are.
I'm excited about it. I want people to understand that, you know, controlling those triggers are very much within your reach. You just have to understand how to do it. You need to learn how to untrigger your environment. Your spouse has a huge role to play in you not being triggered, understanding the anatomy of a trigger. What is it? What is happening to me? How do I know when I'm actually being triggered or if it's just me with an attitude, right? There is a difference. So make sure you register for this. You don't want to miss it.
Foundry starts next week. I love it because men are signing up and we want to create space for you. So if you're ready to go, sign up. The description is in the link. Also, the Last Chance weekend, March 11th through the 13th. Now, typically, we have testimonials of all the couples that we kind of unleashed like right after that weekend. We were so consumed. We went to the very last moment that we didn't even have time to get testimonials.
We poured out every last drop.
Yeah.
This past Last Chance weekend. But transformation took place, and so it was worth every bit.
So I'm going to see what we can do to have some of them follow up and really share with you, because I know those stories and those testimonials really make a difference. But listen, sign up, reach out to us. Go to couplesacademy.org, 678-200-8996. Let's set up a discovery call. Let's make it happen because you know that you need this. And God has put a passion on our hearts. He's commissioned us to do this work to give you what you need. And we appreciate the fact that you tune in every single week, but you need a deeper dive, and that is it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, Fedlina, I see her comment. She says, is that online? Yes, the Overcoming Triggers Masterclass is online. So you can register and you can tune in from all over the world. So make sure that you reach out. And the link should be in the description here for them to register. Go ahead and click and register right now, guys, because it is going to be powerful. And, you know, this is an opportunity for you to get what you need to get sitting right there in your living room, right next to your husband, or by yourself. It doesn't even matter. Right, or right next to you.
And keep in mind, it's going to be recorded, so you have time to really share it with your spouse if they're not able to attend. It's perfectly fine.
So it'll be recorded and given out to those who actually attend, okay? So it won't be recorded and distributed for everyone. You have to register, and then you'll be able to watch it over and over again, which you will want to do.
There it is.
All right.
Let's dive into this conversation. We're talking about Enneagram conflict styles. She went hard in on the 3s. I don't know why. I think there was a personal vendetta.
Did I go in on the 3s, y'all? Please. I really didn't. I was trying to get him off the hook. I was trying to move on, and his internal guilt basically kept forcing him to ask questions, and he made me.
It's my arrogance.
He made his arrogance and his internal guilt, and what was the other comment? That
whatever it was.
Whatever it was, forced him to keep asking me questions. I was trying to let him off the hook. Y'all know.
Let's see how much time she spends on the 7.
So
Let's see.
we already did 7 yesterday.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't. We're starting with the 7.
So, I mean, just as
a quick recap, if I can go through this, like when we were talking about these styles.
Sure.
Type 1, they deal with fault finding and nitpicking. Type 2 is dramatic and wet in terms of being emotional and crying.
Yes.
Type 3, evasive and arrogant, not short. Type 4, haughty and condescending. Type 5, detached and cold. Type 6, vacillating and blaming. And now, we're here for Enneagram Type 7 to talk about all their issues.
Okay, we'll put it up there.
Well, you kind of unpack it first, and then I bring it up.
All right. Well, listen, guys, the image statement for Type 7, which, of course, you know I'm a Type 7 because I have no problem sharing that. Plus, he's making sure you know, right? So I'm free. I'm exciting. I'm entertaining. I want it all. I am positive. 7s want to be seen as interesting, entertaining, and fun. And at the end of the day, 7s do not want to be trapped in pain. So drop the bomb on them. Our conflict style is fleeing and being very disinterested. And so now we're talking about conflict styles. So I want you to place your mindset there because there's a way that we have of being in general. There's a way that we have in being at work. You know, there's different ways that we have of being. This is specific about how you deal with conflict. So when it comes to conflict with your partner and you're getting into an argument with, or something like that, you disagree on something, a 7 is going to want to flee immediately. A 7 is not going to want to sit in the pain and the misery of it. A 7 is going to want to delay the conversation. A 7 is going to show a lot of disinterest in something, even if it is a very important topic that needs to be discussed. But especially if it is an emotionally draining topic, because 7s are also in that head thinking triad, which means the 5, 6s, and 7s have the least amount of energy to give towards emotions and emotionalism. Okay, and so 7s tend to be very practical. All of the head types, 5, 6s, and 7, tend to be practical about things. And so you can, depending on which number you are in the head thinking style, appear to be very dismissive about emotional things. And the growth pattern for that is to actually learn to sit in the pain, sitting in pain, being around other people in pain, not trying to create an upbeat environment, just letting the pain be is the growth path for 7s. How'd I do?
You did all right. I mean, that was kind of light.
There's no shame in my game.
That was kind of
I'm
light.
Evolved.
But yes, you certainly are.
But if you're a 7, you resonate with that, right? I don't want to feel the pain. I don't want to deal with the pain. Why do we have to look and sit at sad things? There's so many wonderful, happy things to look towards. Let's plan something better. Let's look at the glass as half full. But the problem with that is that there's a season and there's a time for everything. So you have to be able to be comfortable in all those different seasons. Otherwise, you're not complete.
I have a question. So fleeing and being disinterested, is it because you truly are? I'm like, I don't care. I'm running from the situation. I'm running. Like, what does that do to the other person? Because when they feel as if that you just don't care.
Correct. It depends on the person. It depends on the person, right? So if you're opposite, if you're a 7 and you're opposite somebody who's in the heart feeling triad, it's going to make them feel very much unloved, unseen, especially not emotionally seen. Their feelings are just looked over, passed over, and that what matters to them just isn't important to you. And the actions of a 7, 5, 6s, and 7s, and they're for different reasons, but the actions of a 7 is not conscious, like, I'm going to flee this situation right now. Here comes a serious conversation. Or I am going to behave disinterested because I just want to push them off. No, it's not a conscious action. These are not conscious behaviors, okay? But anybody who knows you, if you're a 7, will let you know, yes, that's what you do. Whenever we get into a serious conversation, you seem to want to escape. The 7s are escapists in that way, but what they're doing is they're trying to escape pain, which is rooted in fear.
Wow. Okay. That's powerful. I hope this is helping. Like yesterday, Danielle went through the first 6. If you did not see it, please go back and review it, and then, watch this again, because she really ties it all together. We're going deep, guys. Listen, you're watching the Couples Academy show. We're talking about Enneagram personality struggles that you may have. Stay tuned, because we're going to deal with the 8 and the 9, and then talk about conflict overall and what we need to do to overcome it. Be right back.
Down. I give you all, are we going back?
No, you're good.
I give you all the details about who you are, how to deal with you, and also if you come to me and you have your partner with you, now I'm going to break down how you are conflicting in your relationship. I'm going to help you be a little bit more bilingual. I'm going to problem solve for you. So it's a powerful, powerful session. Register. Get yourself one.
No sound.
No
There's
sound?
No sound?
No.
There's no sound here, but they can hear us, right?
No, I'm talking about on the video, the last chance speaking video.
Oh.
That's right. Just go to another one. Switch to another one.
Okay.
Just switch to something different.
If you're a man and you have a pulse, then you need to join this program. You're a husband, you're a father, you're a leader. You have the weight of the world on your shoulders. You have to be everything for everyone, but do you know who and how to be for you? You're still in search of your own significance. You're in internal battle with your own vices. You're questioning, do I even know what it means to be a man? I know I'm supposed to be there for others, but what about me? The fact is, you need a model. You need a code to live by, a system of principles to govern your life. You need an internal compass to guide your every decision. You need the 4 securities to build your own kingdom. What you need is the Foundry. In short, a foundry is a facility where castings are produced by melting metal, pouring liquid metal into a mold, and then allowing it to solidify. Well, this is where we're testing the metal of men. Foundry is a 12-week men's-only coaching program. It is a brotherhood that will take each man through a purification process of the heart, mind, and soul. We here at Couples Academy promise you that if you give us 12 weeks of your life, you will no longer recognize it. If you care about the improving of your life, your marriage, and your family, register today.
All right, guys, we're back. Welcome to the Couples Academy show. We're talking about these Enneagram personality styles. I want to acknowledge all of the people in the building. So to Nina and Gonzalez and Jackie and Ralph,
y'all.
Catalina, and Abe Lawson, Walter, Valentine, Federlina, Torre,
Vicky,
Kathy Martinez.
Brent's with us. Good morning from Virginia, he says. Jackie's with us as usual. Hey, Jackie.
Julia.
Jackie, I gotta read this comment. Jackie McJimpsey says, I have lots of 7s that are friends of mine. They can also be very dismissive in relationships. True. They would rather leave you than discuss the problems. Absolutely. And that speaks to what it is, like learning how to, instead of flee the problem, deal with the problem. It's often easier for a 7, especially as one that's underdeveloped and going through something, maybe they're at a destructive level. They see the grass is greener on the other side, so they're always trying to hop the fence, right? Hopping the fence represents, I have misery here, it looks better over there, but we all know that's not true. But Jackie, I asked you if you were an 8, because 7s and 8s tend to get along very well. It's an interesting chemistry. Let me know.
Brent says, I often made my wife feel dismissed and belittled during conversations or incidents. Is that tied to the 7? Because you were talking about the 7. Maybe he's a 7, and that's how he showed up in his relationship. Not sure.
Could be. I mean, we all can dismiss. I say this all the time. We all can dismiss. What are we dismissing for, right? What is your reason? What is the anxiety? What is the vice? And if you know you're a 3, you can dismiss because maybe you as a 3 might dismiss because whatever the discussion is making you feel less successful, right? Or less than. So you could dismiss as well. So it's why are we dismissing? That's the difference.
Good point. All right, so
Other
people are just
comments?
throwing out their numbers. I am a 9. Yeah, very good. Also, Joseph Johnson, looking forward to Foundry. We're looking forward to you. It's going to be powerful, my brother.
Hey, Bobby, I see you, girl. Hey. Oh, Jackie is a 9. Interesting. Okay. Well, you probably have a wing 8. Maybe?
Yeah.
Let me know.
And
Anyway.
to all the Instagram folks, we want to hear from you. What is your number? Let's hear your comments, and our producer will read it out for us. All right. We're going into number 8. Number 8, Enneagram personality style. Hit it.
All right, so let's just talk about how the 8 sees themselves, okay? They see themselves as strong. They're a survivor. They are in charge. They are the protectors, okay? 8s see themselves as strong and in charge. They do not like to be manipulated. They do not want anybody to dominate them. Once you win an 8 over as a friend, they are a friend for life, lest you betray them or cross them. Now, it's interesting. It's a different relationship when it comes to 8s and their partners. It's a different relationship that they have with others in the world, okay? They have more of a stamina, it seems, because of their loyalty to stick with their partner and work things out. But when you, a friend or someone, crosses them, you're cut, you are dropped like a bad habit, and there's no looking back. That's an issue with 8. And then another issue with 8 is that because 8s tend to appear so strong, right, on the outside, people are intimidated by 8s a lot. People are intimidated by 3s too. It's a different kind of a thing with 3s, right? Because 3s are so successful and they're like gleaming and shining, and so there's an intimidation on success. But with 8s, it's like a fear type of intimidation, like a cowering. People cower to 8s. And oftentimes people just leave the 8's life with no mention or comment. They don't tell them why, because they were afraid to approach the 8. They don't know that they're actually sweet, gooey teddy bears on the inside. They
So
don't
they're
know that.
hard on the outside, soft on the inside.
Appearance-wise.
Like an
posture.
Oreo is hard, has a
posture.
hard,
Yeah.
and then it's soft with the cream on the
Right. It's not that they look hard. It's that they have a hard and
Exterior.
tough posture.
Right.
They're tough. They're strong. They're intense. And so people oftentimes are like, I ain't gonna say nothing.
They don't want to be crossed. They don't want to be taken advantage
No.
of. They don't want to be controlled.
Right.
They want to control.
Yes, they're trying to be strong. They're trying to be strong. So let's talk about how they deal with conflict, okay?
Well, they're blustery and domineering. Blustery.
Meaning like
Oh, okay.
I don't like it.
Yeah, blustery.
I can't even be,
Yeah.
like, don't get them
Like
mad.
the Hulk. Like
I mean,
Bruce Banner,
I
the Hulk.
guess. I mean, hey, I'm sure they can show up as the Hulk. Like the anger when it comes out is blustery and it's domineering. It's I'm taking control of this situation. It's almost like I'm losing control and I'm allowing myself to lose control on you because I'm gonna be the stronger person. Okay, it can be violent sometimes, and it can become also on the inverse of that blustering anger. They can become ice cold and unemotional. Dismissive and uncaring.
Now you think about all of these, I mean, not just the 8, but you went from 1 to 8. All of these idiosyncrasies that we bring into relationships could really create, number one, a whole lot of hurt feelings, a whole lot of misunderstanding, a whole lot of resentment, bitterness, disconnection.
Yeah.
And so that's why understanding your number and knowing how you show up is so critically important, because
Yes.
you can be intentional.
Growth,
Yeah.
okay, is absolutely necessary, right? We just talked about the 7s. There's so much that when I discovered my 7 personality, I was just like, yeah, I had no idea. This is why I was always trying to escape pain. I got to deal with this. I cannot. And then, I mean, and ironically, look at what I do for a living, right? It's nothing but pain. I'm literally drenched in pain now. But at the time, I did not know what the anxiety that was driving me. If you're an 8, if someone crosses you or you feel betrayed or you're in conflict, you can become rageful. You can become vengeful. So these are vices nobody wants to carry, right?
Right.
And there are levels to this, right? So you can be a very healthy 8 and some of these symptoms don't show up because you've worked on yourself, right? So what I'm saying to you, you know it's in there. You know it's a possibility, but you're not there right now. But when you're at the destructive levels because you've been going through hell in your life, you're taking on all these vices and causing you to do things that are just not healthy for you or anyone around you.
Here's a question from Nina. I tested 8. My question is, these numbers are to help aid in change in ourselves. If need be, TJIS correct? Or is it I am 8 always and 8 like
I don't know what TJIS is. I'm over 40, so we used to use real words.
TJIS?
What is, somebody tell us what TJIS is? Somebody knows. Okay. So basically she's asking, she tested 8. My question is, these numbers are to help aid and change ourselves. If need be, is something correct, or am I always going to be an 8? The answer to that question, the best I can understand it, is that there are levels to every personality style, all the way from healthy down to destructive. You are always going to be an 8, but your job is to discover where you are on the path, right? Some of these things that I discussed with you are probably showing up in your life. If they're showing up in your life and you know they're unhealthy, you need to discover, okay, what is my highest calling? What is the highest potential for me as a powerful 8? Because there are positive, wonderful things about 8, which I shared some of those things yesterday, right? But we're talking about conflict styles. We want to get to a healthier place in how we do conflict.
Oh, she's saying TJIS was a mistake. She spelled it wrong. It's THIS, so it's the word this.
Oh.
If need be, is this correct? Okay, I got you. Okay, because there's all types of, I got you. From Instagram, from Chosen, I'm a 5'8" wing 4. Wait a minute. I'm a 5 wing 4. I don't even, what are you?
Jackie said.
I'm a 5'8" wing. That's impossible.
Who?
You can't be a 5'8" wing 4.
I'm a 5'8" wing 4, and my wife is a 9'5" wing 2. You might be talking about polarities, which I haven't really discussed much of, because this is a huge, it's a lot of information to cover. But each personality style, typically, you actually have 4 numbers. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's your core number, and then there's your wing style, which is the number to the left or the right of you. And
so take a look at this, right, Danielle? If you're an 8, right, look at the number 8 there. Your wing is to the immediate left or to the immediate right of the 8. So you can only be a 8 wing 9 or 8 wing 7.
Correct.
You can't be an 8 with a wing of a 4, wing of a 2, wing of a 5.
Correct.
It doesn't work that way. Those may speak to your polarity numbers, but not your
the other numbers, right? So if you have everyone has a polarity, and those numbers are on the opposite side of the circle, and those represent your growth path. Right? So there are certain personality characteristics that another number has that would strengthen the weak parts of your personality, and your goal is to learn to be more sensitive to those things and see life through those lenses a little bit better. Yeah. But Jackie cracked me up over here saying, can you hit Jackie's comment?
You hit it, Danielle, with the betrayal. They do not like wronged. They don't like to be wronged.
Right.
You will be dealing with a demon.
Woo! Only if you're destructive. Only if you're destructive. So let's get out of the destructive zone. And that goes for all of us. You guys are watching the Couples Academy show. We got a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Boom.
98% accurate.
Yeah, we were just talking to Instagram, but we're back,
Yeah.
guys. Welcome to the Couples Academy show.
Hey, guys.
Danielle, hit this comment right there.
Yeah.
My husband got a 3-way tie for his secondary number, his wing number.
So here's what I want to say, because we were just talking about this on Instagram. The issue is that there are 1,000 tests out there. None of them are necessarily accurate. You just don't know what you're getting. And I've taken lots of them just to see for myself how I'm testing and what the questions are. Anybody can go on, word forms and create an assessment or a test. You want to make sure that the test is certified, number one, that it's certified by the institution that actually put out the Enneagram, number one. And number two, you want to make sure that the assessment is at least 98% accurate. We can't get more accurate than that, because sometimes people come to me and they've taken an assessment somewhere and they're like, oh, I know my number is this. And I'm talking to the person and I'm trying to work through that number and none of it is landing and nothing makes sense and it's just not hitting. And I can ask them a few questions because I'm certified, I'm trained, I don't even need an assessment. I could actually just talk to you and ask you a few questions to determine something's not right, let's reassess. And so you want to make sure that you're going to the right place. If you come here to get your assessment, it's going to be 98% accurate, and anything that's missing, I'll be able to pick up when I'm talking to you.
All right, we got one more to go. Number 9, that is our final Enneagram personality type. So let's dive in deep.
9s, their image statement. Everybody loves the 9. 9s are also in the anger triad. So they're right there with the 9s, 8s, and 1s. Anger, instinct, and gut, okay? Now, but who would think that a peaceful 9 is angry? Because they see themselves as being peaceful and calm. They're easygoing. They are drama-free. They are the most uncomplicated and the most diplomatic people on the chart. They could cuss you out and you wouldn't even know. You'd be like, thank you for cussing me out just now and setting me straight, because they just have these abilities. So they see themselves that way, and at all costs, they are trying to keep the peace, right? But we know what happens when people are trying to keep the peace all the time and they don't deal with their issues, right? Issues pile up, and they pile high sometimes for the 9. So let's talk about their conflict style, Hassan.
All right, let's get into the conflict style. Number 9s, they are passive aggressive and stubborn.
So that's what you're going to experience with your 9, okay? The 9 has all these wonderful, pleasant qualities because they're easygoing. They don't want to ruffle anybody's feathers. They have a fear of being disconnected from people and not having a place. And guys, if I haven't said this before, all of us, we're all in the same basket. Our personality styles were shaped because of how we were made to feel when we were growing up. Something was missing, okay? And so what we did to accommodate for what was missing is we created a false persona, okay? So somewhere along the line, the 9 felt displaced, the 9 felt disconnected. They, especially as it relates to the family dynamic, right? They didn't feel significant enough, and they felt like they had to take a second place in some way, shape, or form. For some reason, maybe the mom was sick, right? And everybody had to cater to the mom, and so the child couldn't feel valid enough, or they didn't know their place because everyone was catering to mom because mom was sick, and so they decided to create a different persona, which is to keep the peace and sweep everything under the rug and always maintain connection in some way, okay? So that's what happens with the 9 personality style, but we also know that 9 becomes explosive, because what happens is that they have been pushed to the limit. I have 2 analogies for the 9 personality. The first one is like Superman, right? Clark Kent is sitting in that office and nobody suspects him. He is so diplomatic and he's just nice and he's accommodating and all those things. But when all hell breaks loose, he busts out of his shirt, the S is on his chest, and he soars and he saves the day. That's 9. The flip side of that is that a 9 is a volcano. And I'll never forget being in Costa Rica and sitting under the Poas volcano, and I thought it was a mountain, but one day that thing started to smolder. And I thought, oh my God, this is a volcano that could blow and kill us all. And that's what happens with the 9. Just because it looks like a mountain, a cool, calm mountain, does not mean that there's not lava boiling on the inside, and it will erupt without warning. And that's what you deal with sometimes with your 9. Sometimes you're like, where did this come from? What the heck?
Yeah.
Well, that 9 has been sweeping issues under the rug for so long and suppressing for so long that they snap. And the snap can come out in all kinds of different ways.
Jackie says 9s can suppress anger and go off at a later date. Kathy says this is so true. My husband is a 9.
Right.
Gonzalez says,
Right.
Yep, 9.
Yeah.
So it's obviously you're hitting on something that's very, very true.
Yeah. And 9s need to work on, it's almost like a pressure cooker, right? Like, I mean, everybody has a Presto pot, right? At some point, once that meat is done, you got to open up the little valve so that the steam comes out. You can't just open it up because it explodes all that steam and everybody's going to get burned, right? 9s have to learn ways in communication to release the steam valve. You've got to turn around and go and deal with your issues. And remember, like, that's a fleeing mechanism for 9s, but 7s flee too, but it's for different reasons, right? We're trying to avoid pain. 7s are trying to keep the peace at all costs.
9s are trying to keep the
I'm sorry, 9s. 9s are trying to keep the peace at all costs. 7s are trying to avoid pain. And so at the end of the day, we have to understand what are our vices so that we can work on the vices and learn how to communicate effectively.
I think we need to do something deep dive, like a masterclass on Enneagram personality styles, because many of you need to learn how to crack the code. I'm hearing, yep, my husband's a 9,
Crack the
I'm
code.
a 9, my husband's a 7, my wife's a 3. Knowing it, knowledge is not power. The application of knowledge is power. If you don't know what to do with what you know, then what's the point of knowing? A question came in here as we close the show out. Here it is. When we search for the test, should we go to a website that has .org? You're going to go to couplesacademy.org. I think to Danielle's point, you can find a whole bunch of tests out there, but they're not accurate. Danielle is a certified Enneagram personality specialist. So when you go to couplesacademy.org and click on services or free consultation and scroll to the bottom, you will see the Enneagram assessment. So it comes with the test. She's going to do a session with you and unpack you and walk you through everything because what happens is when you take any test, you'll get some little paragraph readout that gives you some surface understanding of who you are. Danielle
You don't want that.
goes deep dive and comprehensive.
As Gonzalez says, I go in.
That's just what it is. So go to our website and scroll down to the services section and you'll see the Enneagram. Set up a session with her today. It is worth it. It is a game changer. Guys, it is Friday. We hope that you have an amazing weekend. We have a busy one because tomorrow we have our Overcoming Emotional Triggers Masterclass. We need to get a bell or something like that because real time, as I'm seeing emails, notifications are popping in of people who are registering for these particular programs, and we want to acknowledge you in real time. I think that would be a cool feature to the show. So listen, if you haven't signed up, do it today. Stop delaying, stop vacillating. Whatever your plans were for yesterday, cancel it. Okay, you wanted to go to the party, you want to go to the
You're
club.
going to be triggered at that party.
So what's the point?
You're going to be triggered at that club.
So what's the point?
You might as well show up to the masterclass.
Come on now. You're watching Couples Academy. My name is Asani.
I'm Danielle.
We love you guys. See you on Monday. Did you end the broadcast?